Hello from Magpie 24/7. Hope you can see us. It's nice to see everybody again on the last preview of the season as Newcastle United make a long trip down to Chelsea. And what a place to finish this campaign. Obviously, there's absolutely fuck all on it. Let's face it, it's an absolute dead rubber. Newcastle United could finish as high as third. We won't finish any lower than fourth. We are in the Champions League. That's all that matters, really. What an achievement that is. And what celebrations after that Leicester game. For Chelsea, they could finish as low as 14th and as high as 12th is it? Really, for them and how much money that they have spent, it is truly so unacceptable for such an amazing stockpiling of talent to be so low down in the table. They've spent hundreds of millions year after year after year, let's face it, and that's what got them into the position of winning Champions Leagues and stuff like that. So they've spent a lot of money previously. However, since the new owner has come in, oh my word, they have been on a shopping spree and a half. They have some amazing players that even when they have all these injuries, they can still name a fantastic team. On paper, they lack the cohesion, the togetherness, the team spirit, all of those sort of good things that brought us to the dance. They miss those things, but individually, they have an extremely talented roster, if you will, full of players. But if ever Turkey Teeth needed further examination of the fact that he is talking absolute shit when he says it's just basically down to the spending power and no glass ceilings and so on and so forth. Look down at Chelsea. Look at what they have spent and look at where they are in the league. Look at Newcastle United with a spine of a team that, let's face it, has been here through some very, very difficult, tough and dark times. They have seen the lowest of lows. They have been told that they are not good enough to play in a certain way. And yet now we're in the Champions League. We have spent, yes, this season. We have not spent in previous seasons anywhere near as much. We have had 2 decades of Mike Ashley literally sabotaging every aspect of the club. And yet after one full season, we are causing everybody to lose their shit. The table has got Chelsea down the bottom end. It's got Liverpool missing out on the Champions League. It's got Spurs potentially missing out on any European competition whatsoever, despite the debt that they're in. One season of Newcastle United together, all on the same page, all rowing in the same direction. Owners, players, staff, fans, everybody together. And that unity is worth more than all of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of pounds that they have pumped and wasted on players and stockpiling players and buying up as much young talent as possible. What we have got, it's been such a unique, special blend of hunger and determination, blood, sweat, tears from the players. A high intensity game of football that I have not seen Newcastle United play, even under the days that we were fighting for the title. Didn't see didn't see the togetherness that we've got now, even back in the day under Bobby or under Kevin Keegan. Didn't see any of it. And I've seen the good times like that. I've seen the bad times. I've seen the dark times. I've seen the Ashley years. I've travelled around. I've supported. I've stayed loyal. I've kept the season ticket. I've took in away grounds. I've took in some terrible performances, getting in at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning after another shit show. I've done all of that. So yeah, I think for Newcastle United tomorrow, it's just party time for the fans. Win, lose or draw the game, it has been an amazing season, no doubt about it. And I'm still confident, and I still think it's right that we get the victory, we get the 3 points. We try and keep a clean sheet as well, because I think that'll be a perfect send-off for Martin Dubravka, who's going to start this weekend's game, I would imagine. But just a little bit of a reminder, I've seen lots of salty comments this week, lots of dummies being spat out, lots of petulant footballers who need a little bit of humility, a little bit of, we're going to come back and work even harder, rather than sort of blaming everybody else and saying it's just not good enough and we should be in and we're good and we're special and this, that and the other. Yeah, no, it needs to pipe down. This is what I so want to avoid in the next steps for Newcastle United, us signing prima donna type fucking players who are up the own arse and like to blow hot air up the own arses and stuff like that, and inflate their fucking egos a little bit more. I don't want that. I want your grafters. I want more Kieran Trippiers. I want more Brunos. I want more young, hungry, up and coming players through the doors at St James's Park, and I want to keep that team spirit and that unity going, across every side of our club. It's just so exciting at the moment. Everywhere you look, whether it's the training ground, whether it's the staff recruitment, the player recruitment, we've been, loads of speculation, loads of players being taken in, the scouting, we're all over the world, we're across everything. You trust these people who are in charge of the club. You trust what they say. They delivered on what they've said with regards to getting to cup finals, to progress the club on to Champions League, and they've made comments and statements about winning trophies and winning Premier Leagues and winning in Europe, and they've delivered on everything else so far. So you've got to again back them to eventually achieve those aims. It's such an exciting time to be a Newcastle United supporter, and for once, like I said, the result really doesn't matter all too much tomorrow, but it would be good to lay down another marker against one of the more vocal clubs against our takeover back in the day. You're thinking about the likes of Spurs and Chelsea and Liverpool and the fuss they kicked up when we were going to be getting taken over, and this is why they didn't want it. Because they knew it would upset the apple cart, because they knew it would upset the status quo. And on top of ourselves, coming along, you've seen the likes of Aston Villa under Unai Emery, you've seen the likes of Brighton as well. Really, really just get amongst it and just say, no, we're not just there to make the numbers up. We're not there just to serenade you lot to another fucking league title or another Champions League campaign and so on and so forth. There is an absolute group of clubs now who are really there to make things more competitive than they have been for such a long time. But I found it really, really funny this season, and towards the end of the season, the likes of Jurgen Klopp, literally so salty. It's just like the Man United entitlement that they used to have back in the day when they had Ferguson, and they thought that literally everybody should just bend over, everybody should just curtsy in front of them, everybody should not step in Manchester United's way, and they were a special club and this, that and the other. It's bollocks. You have got to earn it on the football pitch, and after a 38 game season, where you are is where you deserve to be. And Newcastle United deserve to be in the Champions League. And, no doubt it's going to be an exciting summer. There will be comings, there will be goings, no doubt about it. And I hope that we've got a squad capable of being able to challenge and being able to balance multiple ongoing concerns, multiple competitions, giving lots of things a real good go next season, because it's been so enjoyable this season. I've loved every minute at St James's Park and following the lads across the country, as both myself and Kyle have done again this season. So looking forward to more of the same. We're going to need a bigger squad, there's no doubt about it, and it's the end of the line for quite a few. We'll get onto the team that I think Eddie will go with against Chelsea. There will be changes, but not as many as you think, because literally they are dropping like flies, and this shows you why we need that bigger squad, because with the high intensity game, the high intensity brand of football that we play, we cannot just rely constantly on a pool of about 16 players to be able to pick from. It's not enough. We need a bigger squad to be able to to pick from, no doubt about it. But this weekend I expect Martin Dubravka to come back in. I expect this to be his last game. He's made noises about wanting first team football, about not being happy about being second fiddle to Nick Pope. Nick Pope has played with dislocated fingers for the last couple of months, and that again, it shows you what sort of characters. It's not just about the quality of the player, it's about the right characteristics, about the right sort of mental processes. It's about the team and not about the players. He's played with dislocated fingers and he's done tremendously well. I think there's been a few people who've questioned recently about a few things to do with him. However, you only had to see the game against Leicester. He had to do nothing throughout the game. one chance less to have, and it's a world-class save to be able to get us the point that we needed to secure Champions League football. So class signing, been a class keeper. Can't wait to see him back ready for pre-season. He's had the operation, it's done. He's now recuperating, he's getting the work in. We'll see him back at the beginning of pre-season for that one. Martin Dubravka will come in this weekend, and it is a fitting send-off. Let's hope we can keep a clean sheet for him. That's the right way to do it. He will move on. He will be the first choice goalkeeper. No doubt about that. Somewhere else, he has been class. I think if you're down there, just sing out, give him a good send off. Yes, he did have the Manchester United thing. I understand that pissed me off, pissed other fans off. However, he has been a great servant for the club. He turned down moves away from us through a lot of the dark times at Newcastle United. He could have just left us and left us in the shit. He didn't. He's a top bloke, top keeper, and I think he's been proud to represent the club, so give him a great send-off. I hope that he gets to keep a clean sheet, I really do. He will start between the sticks. I expect maybe Karius to be on the bench. I know there's been a clamour for maybe some people thinking, should he start given what he did at the cup final? I don't think there's room for sentiment. I think Karius will be off in the summer as well, but I think he'll be on the bench for us this weekend down in London. So Dubravka in goal. Across the defence, it's going to be pretty much as it is because Jamal Lascelles is injured. Matt Targett isn't being trusted to come into the team for whatever reason. I think Dan Burn will continue to play at left back, which means we've no room to change the centre backs around. It'll be Fabian Schär. It will be Sven Botman. Right back, it'll be Kieran Trippier. Ashby is back. He's back in training. He had an assist and a goal, didn't recently, for the reserves. However, I don't think he might be on the bench. He might be on the bench, but he's not going to be starting this game. Kieran Trippier will start this game. He's the captain, so he will start, no doubt about that. So pretty much a familiar-looking defence. I would like to have seen Matt Targett, but the fact that he's got dropped for a centre-back playing in front of him, even after he got injured and after he got back in for that one game, he was then dropped back to the bench when Dan Burn had recovered from an illness. That tells you all you need to know. I think Matt Targett's going to be off in the summer, I really do. He left Villa for the same reason, so I don't see him sticking around at Newcastle United just to make the numbers up. Unfortunately, I think he'll be off. I think Jamal Lewis as well could well be off as well. So quite a few left backs. Paul Dummett's contract situation, there could be quite a few left backs going out. We've got one or two. Matt Ritchie as well is another one. He's not going to be fit and available for this game. That's a shame, because again, it might have been nice to change some of the players around and to give the lads the send-off that they deserve because of everything that they put into the club. It would have been nice, but it's not to be. The players are injured, so pretty much the same defence that we've had for 99.9% of the season. I expect to see down at Chelsea. In the midfield area, Joe Willock, who is so unlucky to get injured because he must have been in the England contention. If you're giving Calvin Phillips England squad places after playing twice all season, then Joe Willock must have been close. However, he's injured, so he won't be involved. Joe Linton, he's been ruled out as well. He'll be back for pre-season. He's been injured for the large part of the last couple of months as well, Joe Linton. He's battled magnificently through. He's one of my players of the season. We'll get to that in a separate video, player of the season. So I expect to see what we've got left basically in midfield. We have been really, really short in this area. Miley, I don't think he'll start. I think we may well see him come on as a substitute to give Bruno a little bit of a breather in the game as it goes on. But I expect to see Bruno in the middle. On one side, Elliot Anderson given more minutes to impress Eddie Howe and to stake a claim in the squad ready for next season. Jordi Maradona. And then on the other side, another Geordie, Sean Longstaff. Two Geordies in the centre of midfield is fantastic. Longstaff's return from injury was very, very, very welcome in the last game. I think he got some injections just to see him through the game and to manage the situation that he's got. Still pissed off with regards to what happened down at Woodison Park about that. But that's a separate rant for a separate day. That's the three that I think we'll go with in the middle, because that's literally it. The only other way we could change that is maybe to put Miggy in the middle, which he does for his international team. You could play Fabian Schär out of defence into the central midfield, because he's done that internationally, and then change the defence around a little bit, bring Burn to centre back, targeting at left back. He could do that. He's not going to do that though. That team that I've mentioned, I think is pretty much a dead certainty to start this game. And then he's got decisions in the attacking midfield areas, out wide left, out wide right. I would like to see Isak further forward, I really would. I think the world of Callum Wilson. I think he's a cracking striker, and I'm of the adage, always play your best players. You find a way to incorporate everybody. I don't know if it works with Isak out wide on the left. I really don't. It gets too deep. I want to see him in the final third. That's where he excites. That's where he's got a unique talent for. And I think Isak will start up front. Out wide left, I think no Joe Linton. I think Alan St. Maximum comes back in. He was literally shit hot before he got his recent injury. He went on a couple of games. He was unplayable. Again, opposition teams were sort of sticking 2 or 3 players on him, struggling to be able to mark him in games, struggling to keep him out of games. His trickery on the ball, his assists, his creating chances, trying to score goals, getting shots away is absolutely fantastic, and he needs it. And you know what? He's carried us. He has carried us under the darker times, under the likes of Steve Bruce. I think he deserves it. Everything he's done and how he carried our football club at times under previous owners and managers, he deserves an opportunity just to leave a message and leave a thought in Eddie Howe's brain over the summer. I'm still here, Gaffer. I'm still fighting. I still want to be part of it. I'm still part of the project. I'm still committed. I love it here. It's the perfect opportunity to leave that little nugget of information in Eddie Howe's mind. So I would say, that's if I don't choke. Alan St. Maximum on the left hand side. On the right hand side, I think you'll play Miggy, because I think Miggy and Trippier work really, really well. Trippier helps to manage and helps bring the game on a little bit of Miguel Almiron, and we've seen since that partnership has struck up, Miggy has had a fantastic goal scoring season. He's been top draw, the best that he's ever been at Newcastle United this season, and it goes to show you what great coaching does. Yeah, that doesn't get spoken about enough. It's always just about the money. It's just about the money. It's about the Saudis. It's about the money. Actually, look at some of these players who were already here before, and when they were told they were limited, one-dimensional, could only work in a counter-attacking system. These are all things that were said about Miggy and others. He has been fantastic. He scored some beautiful goals. He could have a goal of the season contendership all by himself, a competition all by himself, that is. I think Eddie Howe likes Trippier and likes Miguel Almiron on the right hand side, so I think that continues. So Miggy on one side, St. Maximum on the other side, the 3 I've mentioned previously in the midfield area. Isak up top, and I think you'll rest Callum Wilson a little bit. The last thing you want him to do is to get any sort of injury. He's going to be playing for England coming up in the Euro qualifiers, isn't he? So no reason to risk him, and it's about managing Callum Wilson going forward and having the squad that's there to be able to rest and rotate and to bring him in for certain games and out for certain games. That's what we need to be able to work towards and move towards going into future seasons. There's no doubt about it. So Isak for me comes in for this game, and I think that team on paper is more than good enough to get the points down against Chelsea, who have had a absolute shower of shit this season. They have had a terrible season, defeat after defeat. I think Lampard's only got 1 victory in his 10 games in charge so far. Mr. Chelsea, we were told before he came back, he knew the club, he would get up and running really, really quickly. Potter didn't work. Yeah. It was an experiment that didn't work. He tried to bring Brighton and bring it to Stamford Bridge. It did not work, unfortunately, for their new ownership and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't give 2 flying shits, to be honest. I really, really don't. They tried to stop us, and we must remember that. They tried to stop us, and it was for this exact exact reason. So I'm absolutely loving it. I want us to keep a clean sheet. It's a great send-off for Martin Dubravka. If we keep a clean sheet, I think we nick a goal or two in the game and we get the points. And we do the double over them, and we don't often do the double over them. Stamford Bridge isn't a great hunting ground for us. I know we've had one or two great times, League Cups, wonder goals going in, the odd little victory here and there. It's also an opportunity to give Jason Cundy a kick in the bollocks, if I'm being honest as well. Can't stand him, just literally chats shit for the sake of it. Some of the stuff he says just to be controversial for controversial's sake, for clicks and stuff for Talk Sport. It's a load of absolute shite. Everybody can see through it. There's nothing gracious about him, Manchester City, they have earned the title. Congratulations to them. They've been the best team. Arsenal have done fantastically well. They've come on leaps and bounds. They've had a great season, finished in second. And Manchester United, but they will finish where they will finish. We'll see whether it's third, whether it's fourth. They've definitely progressed through. But just certain managers, certain pundits, they cannot give credit. It's just like it will not come out, and instead they're like spewing verbal diarrhea about things that actually aren't that all important. Newcastle United's secret this season has been our unity, our high intensity work, that press, the system, and the togetherness. It cannot be underestimated. Nobody likes to come to St James's Park as an opposition team because you know what you are going to be put under. Nobody wants to play us because they know the style, the commitment, the thunder, the noise from the away fans, the thunder of the players, the style, the system, the defensive stability. One of the best defences in the league, with Botman and his share at the back. Botman, all these players who we did sign, it's like we use some sort of cheat code if you listen to the likes of Jurgen Klopp. These are players he could have signed if he wanted to, but he didn't want to sign these players. We have, and we've gelled them all together with our other players who we had before to make an absolutely fantastic team. We deserve top four, whether they like it or not. It's pretty irrelevant. But it should be a decent game. Nothing much on it. There should be no pressure, so hopefully a good attacking game. Want to send the supporters off all happy, having enjoyed the 90 minutes of action, and hopefully Newcastle United come out with the points. If we don't, it's Champions League, it's still happy days. I'm still buzzing off the other night. Look, I even came back, and at 2:45 in the morning I get a fucking puncture. I didn't give a shit. I had the Champions League theme at the side of the road. I'm changing the tyre over. I get home after an absolutely fantastic evening's worth of entertainment. I'm watching the match back. I'm doing stuff for Magpie 24/7, and I know I've got to get up in a couple of hours to do the school run and to get on with all the sort of dad type things that us dads have to do. Happy days. I'm doing it with a spring in my step. It has been a spectacular season. We will of course be back with the review of the Chelsea game just as soon as possible. I would just like to say thank you for sticking with Magpie 24/7. Thank you for continuing to support us. Over 114,000 people across all of our social medias. We've started YouTube up this season. That was a brand new thing. We're just under 1,800. We would like to push that even more, even further. So if you haven't and you're watching this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Get in the comment section as well. Support Magpie 24/7. We do have more things to bring across as the season goes on. With regards to bringing different people on the channel, also appearing on other channels as well. We've done a lot with True Faith this season, a lot of cross-promotional stuff with True Faith. Great lads on there. There's so many talented content providers and creators out there. Fan accounts, bringing you news and views like we do. Content creators across YouTube, some fantastic people, really passionate. We are also passionate. The 24/7 thing isn't just part of the name, it is the mantra. We do this, myself, Kyle, since obviously stepping away from where we were previously, morning, noon and night. We love what we do. We thank you for your continued support. Like I say, I know there's many other platforms where you can go and get stuff, so we appreciate the kind words. We appreciate the continued support, the continued likes and everything else like that. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We're going to continue, but we're just going to keep adding little bits in, other people coming in doing bits and bobs for us, some longer editorial stuff, all the other normal shorter stuff still staying there. The footage from inside St James's Park on away days, the match day footage, that's all going to continue on. The previews, the reviews, the special ones, the looking at certain players. We've got lots of plans for doing some specials over the summer as well. If you want to see different stuff, get in the comments, message us, email us, magpie247, that's magpie247@outlook.com. Let us know what you would like to see more of, less of. Constructive critique is always welcome. We've received it throughout the season. We've got new intros, new outros, new graphics to be able to bring along. Rocket, who have helped us and come on board during the season, are helping us with a website as well. That should be good. Excited about how that will look and how that will work. And again, getting some longer pieces on the website, some longer, bigger articles for when you've got a bit of time and you want to read through something a bit more meatier and a bit more in depth. We've got the website there for you to look at. Shorter stuff as normal on our Twitter and Instagram, and then you've got TikTok accounts, Facebooks, all that sort of good stuff. So different outlets doing different type of contents of different people. Some with links, some without links. Some people like links, some people don't like links. Some people like to see where the source comes through and check it all the way through and all the way back. That's absolutely fine. We try and do a really, really good mixture of different stuff on Magpie 24/7. We absolutely love doing it. It will continue into next season. European football, cannot wait. We've talked about dark times before. There's been some dark times at our football club. It's just been so exciting this season. Even during the defeats, we played some absolutely great football, cup finals. We're now back to European competition, European away days, supporting the lads here at home, far away from home. Doesn't matter whether it's a 240-mile round trip for me these days for a home game. I'm there. I'll continue to be there, continue to support the lads. I've supported them through the absolute dark times, through some absolutely pathetic performances, awful tactics, terrible managers, so a few awful players, to be honest, here and there. I've seen the dark times, we've seen the struggles, we've seen fighting against relegation, and now we're going to enjoy that upward curve, that exciting adventure, an adventure into European action, hopefully across Italy, Spain, Germany, wherever it will take us. Cannot wait to get on board with that going into the new season. Absolutely fantastic. So thank you from both, like I say, myself and from Kyle for your continued support on Magpie 24/7. Let's hope the lads send us off with another smile this weekend by getting the 3 points and sticking it to Chelsea. Letting them have it would be absolutely and utterly fantastic. So back with the review after the game, and then back with some specials. Got holidays coming up as well, so probably won't be from the van, it'll be from somewhere even sunnier, even though it is really, really sunny. It's getting late evening now. I'm still hard at graft, but yeah, even sunnier climes will be coming from shortly. Cannot wait. End of the season, get your holiday in with the family, relax, enjoy the great weather wherever you are at the moment across England, even further. Some of the places the videos are being watched at now, absolutely unbelievable, all over the world. So wherever you are, yeah, tell me down below where you're watching the video from. Really, really intrigued. Really great to be able to speak to everybody in the Magpie 24/7 community. And in the meantime, take care, keep it tuned. 3 points for the lads, Champions League mags. I'll speak to you later.